We're live. Hey everyone, Chrissy here. We're a witness. I am here with my two soul sisters. We've got Lady D, Delphine, and Sarah Ashley. How are you guys?
I'm well. I'm in my healing mode. Virgo season, healing mode. How about
Healing. I know. I think we're all in that. I think we're all in that mode these days. I mean, the summer's been kind of interesting. That's for sure.
you?
Um, well, so I just wanted to get started, and let me get my little notes up here on the board, even though I don't really need them. But all right, so I do want to do. I have to do. I do this every time. Do a shout out to Harley Ray Crystal Shop. If you use RW Chrissy, you get 10% off your purchase. All the links for Delphine's show website and Sarah's and Soldier of Light and Light Warrior Network are in the description. So make sure you guys subscribe to everybody because I think we've got a handle on what's going on, sort of what's going on anyway. Within the truther community, it's been a little bit crazy lately. So, but I wanted to start out. See, we were supposed to do the show yesterday, but Delphine, the internet went out, and Sarah, you weren't feeling that great either, and so that's why we're doing it today. And so I wanted to just briefly discuss 9/11 because we just passed the 22nd anniversary of
Hmm.
9/11, and why don't you guys, Delphine, why don't you start tell your story? What happened during your, when 9/11 was going on for you, and then I'll go to Sarah.
I was working in Boston at the time as an admin, which I was doing for many years. And I just remember my mom calling me at work saying that a plane hit the Twin Towers in New York. And then, everyone was talking about it in the office. Everyone was talking about it. And then the second plane hit.
Mm-hmm.
No. It wasn't the second plane. So everyone was talking about it. Everyone was online. Everyone was talking about it. And then what happened is that I think it was like after an hour or so, no one knew what was going on. So they dismissed us from work. And I remember my office was on the top floor, but then there was a Legal Seafoods because down below. And so
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the office went down to Legal Seafoods. I mean, it was like, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of people. We were just all at Legal Seafoods down below on the first floor, and we're all watching live. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. And we were
Wow.
watching and watching, and then I'll never forget. We watched the towers fall. The first tower
That was
fall,
so good.
and then the second tower fall, and we just couldn't believe our eyes. It was just like you could hear a pin drop, and we were just like, "Holy shit!" Um, and then of course we watched Tower 7, which we were like,
Yes.
"Why is Tower 7
What
falling?
the
Why?
hell? I
It's down
know.
the street." So,
Right.
you know, 9/11 is probably the thing that woke up most people because I'll never
Mm-hmm.
forget, like months afterwards, we were like, it's an inside job. We were saying it was an inside job
Yeah.
like a month or two after. Everyone said it was an inside job. Things just weren't adding up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole thing, that I remember watching, in Pennsylvania, the airplane that was bullshit. I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell that an airplane did not fall in that field, did not crash in that field. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
just things did not smell right on that day. But I don't think people really understood it until like a month. But it was pretty quick after 9/11. People were starting to say it was an inside job. I had a
Yeah.
friend that lived there. She was actually worked in downtown Manhattan. And I remember calling her and I remember her telling me that she walked like nothing was working. Nothing was working. So people were like walking. Like I think she said she walked like, I don't know, 7 miles to get to
Wow.
her apartment because everything was down. And I remember that I just remember that we were sent home. And I take commuter boats to work at the time. I was taking commuter boats. So we were all sent home. And I'll never forget that they kept on saying that Logan Airport was shut down. All the airports were shut down, but I still remember, I still remember, because when you hear that the airport is shut down and then you hear commercial flights.
Mhm.
So there were 3 flights that left Logan Airport. And of course, one of them was Osama bin Laden's family.
Right.
Which I was like, what? Are you kidding me? If this is the asshole that did it, why is his family being escorted out of the country?
Well, the
So there were
Bushes
3
did that
flights.
too.
The
There was
Bushes,
President Bush.
yeah.
Don't even get me started.
He's another egregious asshole, but
Yeah.
so it was just surreal, you know. And I just remember coming, we all left Boston, and for days we were just watching the news and watching the
Mhm.
news, and it was very surreal, very surreal. So
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
Okay, what about you, Sarah? What happened with you?
So I was in high school. I was a senior at the time, and I remember it was a library aid first period, and there was an announcement they were going to lock us all down. And at this time, we came fresh off of the Colorado shootings, like
Oh yeah.
school, but Dylan
Right.
Klebold or Klebold. I can't remember the name of the school, but that was the first massive shooting. So all of us were on edge because at that time, a lot of bomb threats were coming into our school.
Oh
And
my
most of them,
God.
well, like I think all of them were fake. But
Yeah.
this was the time where things started shifting around 1999 through 2002.
Mhm.
Before then, it felt very safe to go to school. And then all of a sudden, it didn't feel safe to go to school anymore. There's always some
Mhm.
kind of lockdown, exercise, and whatnot. So the librarians told me, oh, there's nothing planned. Because, the teachers always know something's planned. And then
Right.
the people said, no, it's okay. Actually, just go to second period. So we walked into second period, and the announcement, the PA came on. The principal said, teachers, turn on your TVs. So we watched the Twin Towers come down. The planes go through the towers, the Pentagon, Pennsylvania. All of us were on our best behavior. It was a very rowdy math class. I remember this class specifically because we had a terrible teacher. So all of us misbehaved, even the golden children, even me.
I
We all
love it.
in that class. We're all rowdy. But just like Delphine was saying, we could hear a pin drop in the class. We were all dead silent. We were just shocked. We were mature enough, 17 and 18-year-olds, to know that something was very wrong. And I remember saying to my best friend, I said, there's going to be a war. There's going to be another war now. Even then, I was intuitive enough to know, savvy enough to know, I said, and they're going to blame Saddam Hussein. And she said, why do you think that? I said, oh, I just know. And that's what happened.
Wow.
It was Afghanistan who supposedly did it. They blamed Iraq, and it was just another excuse to carry out another war, another
Mhm.
oil war, military industrial complex. So, when I was that age, of course, I didn't think it was a conspiracy. But looking back, of course, all the evidence leads to, what happened immediately afterwards is the Patriot Act, which they
Yeah.
took away our constitutional rights. They were surveilling all of us, which they still do. And,
Mhm.
at that time, some of us just had cell phones, but, you couldn't turn them on all the time. That's when, you get
Yeah.
penalized for talking to somebody before 7 o'clock or after. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I
Like,
remember that.
it was all like, it was very expensive. It was basically like for emergencies only. The phone
Mhm.
was for emergencies only, just in case. So, what do we have now? We have all these smart technologies, which they already knew was coming down the pipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. governments already knew that everything was going to come down the pipe, and they've been surveilling us ever since. So
Yeah.
it was a very scary time. And I feel like something like that will happen again in our country.
Mhm.
In a world level. I don't know what it's going to be. I can only imagine that they'll blame Russia next time. That's what I feel like's coming
Oh
up
yeah.
next. False flag with Russia, because who's the enemy right now? Russia. Everything's Russia, Russia, Russia.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, China is the biggest problem. I mean, people don't get it. It's so frustrating. Yeah, here I was working downtown Seattle. I worked for the city prosecutor's office at the time. I was doing the pre-filing investigations, and all I know is every day I woke up, I would turn on the Today Show. So I'd wake up at like 6 a.m., a little bit before 6 a.m., and I would turn on the Today Show and then just kind of get up. And I literally woke up turned on the TV, and then just as the second plane hit the second tower, and I was like, oh my, I was it was panicking because I was like, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And I was just glued, and I remember calling my parents and going, what the hell is going on? I don't know what to do. Should I go to work? And I was in a panic mode. And then I see the two towers fall, and I am like on the phone with my parent. I'm like, where's our military? Where is everybody? This can't be happening here. What's going on? Like I was first of all, I was pissed, but I was also just I mean, it was the first time I think in my life that I didn't feel safe in America. And I just said, and my dad was like, just go to work. I said, okay. So, and I took the bus, and I lived about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Seattle, north of Seattle. So I would take the bus into work every day. So we're all out there with our earphones on, right? We had our headphones on. Everybody is just completely silent. And we get on the bus, and I just remember there were like I don't know what it was, but there were like a couple of loud bangs, like we're going down. People were like, oh my God, what was that? Everybody was like on edge, and I get to work, and everybody was like, oh my God, like we didn't even know what was going on. And my boss was saying, well, we don't know if Seattle's going to be hit, so we're sending you guys home right now. It took me, okay, and it's like normally about a 30-minute ride on the bus. It stops everywhere. It took me 3.5 hours to get home because everybody was just so panicked, and everybody was just trying to get out of the city because they were worried that it was going to be hit. And it was just so scary. And I just remembered that was the first time that I did not feel safe in my country ever, and then after that, it was like, then to learn about the truth about it. And it's so funny because I watched a documentary on the Twin Towers, how they were built and everything. I mean, they could have withstood a 10 or 12 12 on earthquake. They could have withstood a lot. And they're saying that these planes hit, and it would not have brought them all down. And then you see video later. We remember all the videos that came out where you could see just before the quote second plane hit, you can see on the bottom level there was like an explosion, and the way they came down was like a controlled explosion. The way they came down, and then it was like, I mean, I bought. The skit thing is like, I bought them. Hey, you guys, knock it off, Oscar and Joey. Oscar and Joey. Oh my God, they're like fighting. Sorry, everybody. They're fighting. Hey, Joey. Hold on, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Cats are right? Cats are
unpredictable. Oh my God, I hear this like, I'm like, what the heck is going on? They're like, sorry, everybody. Anyway, it was so scary. And then to find out that, and I mean, I was an idiot because I followed it all. Listen, I was calling into the talk radio show. We have to go to work. We have to. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I watched that thing with Colin Powell, Rumsfeld, Cheney. They were all saying, oh no, there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. We have to go into Iraq. And I bought the whole thing up until probably about 2011 or so. I think is when I started like seeing all the real what really happened. But I was, it was just so egregious that these people are willing to kill 3,000 citizens for money. First of all, I'm so sick of money I could just scream. And the fact that they had to hide that there was like what was it, $2 trillion was missing, and that was one of the other reasons. Rumsfeld was going to announce the next on 9/11. He was supposed to announce that there was $2 trillion missing, and they didn't know where it was. And and then the whole Building 7. I remember being on the phone like it was hours later, and I'm like, that's not even near. It's not even near the Twin Towers. Like, what are they? And it looked like a demolition. It looked like that. And I was like, what the hell? And then the planes, the Pentagon was just bullshit. Because I remember seeing the footage, and I remember seeing one brave newscaster was out there. Well, we don't see any remnants of plane or anything like that. It was totally blown up. They did it on purpose, and it was horrific and it was awful. The only good thing that I think came out of it was that our country united. And that
Yes.
was the one thing. Everybody had flags on their car, united we stand, everybody. And that also, considering that it was the deep state that did all of this, of course, their minions, which are the media and entertainment, and they all rallied around America and not knowing that at the time. But, it's like I just, we the people have to start rallying for ourselves and start grassroots, from now on. And we can't depend on these people. They're all horrible.
No,
So
no.
it was just horrible. And I just pray and hope. I mean, I know you're right, Sarah. I mean, and Delphine, we've talked about it. I mean, we know there's something big on the horizon that it's in the air. Like, something major is going to happen. What they're going to do, we don't know. But anyway, it was just so sad. And, I just wanted to say to everybody that was affected by 9/11, do not forget. You can't forget. Never forget. Because that is the kind of government that we have right now that is willing to kill us for money.
Well,
That's
they did.
it. Money and power.
They just did it in Lahaina again. They blamed on natural wildfires, right? Climate change. And there's evidence with this laser. They saw it 11 minutes before the fires. I think it was 10 or 11 minutes. And there's still a missing bus of children. What the hell happened? And they all did it. And somehow it missed Oprah's house. It missed The Rock's house. It missed Lady Gaga's house. Why is that? Fires just choose where they want to go.
No,
and they want to spread off people's property. So they did it again, just in a different way. They're using their new
and also it's sort of like a capture almost. That's how I'm looking at it. People don't even understand because they've completely portioned the whole area off. They're stopping supplies. FEMA is stopping supplies from the area. It's really, and then all these kids that are missing. I mean, hello, where did they go? And it's just sickening what they did. They don't care about us. I mean, and the problem is too, we have to get strong. This is what I want to say about all this. We have to get strong and understand that there are more of us than there are them.
Absolutely.
We have to unite, because if America doesn't unite, we're screwed. That's it.
And don't forget, it was on a conservative. So it doesn't matter if someone's a Republican or a Democrat, because it was happened under fucking George W. Bush, that fucking egregious dickhead. All right. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. There's deep state on both sides. There are rhinos, there are assholes on both sides. And for me, I was not awake at all. But for me, and I wasn't into politics or anything like that. I was in my 20s. I didn't give a shit about much. My late 20s. But I will tell you one thing. It never made sense to me that we seriously, it's like when you're in your 20s, you don't give a shit about this stuff. And quite frankly, ignorance is bliss. I wish I could go back to being ignorant.
Right.
Because quite frankly, reality sucks. But I digress. But I do remember one thing. It never made sense to me why we would go, okay, if it was Saddam Hussein and he comes from Iraq, then why would we invade Afghanistan? And I remember fighting with my family going, I'm like, Saddam Hussein's from Iraq. Why are we going to war with Afghanistan? And they're like, well, they funded it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this doesn't make fucking sense. Hello, people, it doesn't make sense to me. Why?
No.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Emotions. They're playing on our emotions. That's all it was. And they got the stupidest guy in there, so we wouldn't question, right? Again, another stupid president, because remember, he used to come on there and his mic was off and he just bippity boppity boo on there. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Ran
so
like a clown.
He's such a jerk.
He's the dumbest. I think a bag of sticks is smarter than George W. Bush. Sorry. All right. All right. A bag of fucking sticks is more intelligent than him. All right, Daddy got him in.
100%.
Daddy got him. Well, and you understand that it was Papa Bush and Cheney running that operation with Rumsfeld and Colin Powell.
And Rumsfeld, he's another one. Rumsfeld and Cheney, they're another egregious assholes that made a lot of money. Who was it? Is it Rumsfeld that had the security? He had the he made all the money from the war weapons. Is it Donald Rumsfeld or was it Cheney that had the war weapons
I
that
think
they
it's
made all
Cheney,
kinds of
I
money?
thought.
It was it
Cheney.
Dick Cheney?
Was it
Yeah, that's
It's
Cheney?
Cheney,
Liz
yeah.
Cheney, Liz Cheney is his daughter and all that. I mean, don't
Yeah.
even get me started on the Cheneys. But yeah, I mean, I'll never forget the thing that really angered me the very most was like I remember seeing that video of the president supposedly reading a book to little kids. They whisper in his ear right after the first plane hit, and he sat there for fucking like 15 minutes or something. And I said to I'm like, why is he just sitting there? Like, my mom's like, well, he doesn't want to, he doesn't want anybody to know what's going on. I said, he can gracefully excuse himself and say, I've got a little bit of something I got to take care of, but it was great. I'm glad you guys are whatever. And you extricate yourself. You don't sit there for fucking 15, 20 more minutes. And,
the country is melting down. The country is
Right.
melting down.
The whole world was like stopped at that point. I mean, like, oh, I was so mad. Yeah, it was just outrageous. And the other thing I wanted to say too is that I think we've seen enough of these sabotages, right? And how the deep state and the establishment, and everybody else, they use our emotions to then create the crisis and to keep it going. I mean, we saw that with COVID, right? Everybody was freaked out, and I'll be the first. I was freaked out for the first like 30, 40 days, and then after that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this doesn't make any sense, I'm like, I'm not wearing a fucking mask. Screw that, Like, it's so stupid. So anyway, so I think we just need to remember. I just want everybody to like keep that in the back of your mind when there are things that are going to happen very soon. We're hearing it from, doesn't matter if you're a tarot card reader, astrologer, prophet, the different prophets, some of the pastors are talking about it. There is a significant thing that's going to happen. And I believe, so I don't know if you guys know this, but on Sunday, there was a cyber attack in Las Vegas and everything was shut down. Nobody could get to their rooms. Nobody could get any money. It was all through the MGM Grand Hotel, all the ones that they own, complete shutdown. And that went on from Sunday through to Monday. And it was on, you could go and find it. But yeah, it was a huge thing. And I think that's a dry run. So I'm just going to say, they're trying stuff out on a smaller scale so that they can do it on a larger scale. So I'm just going to say, everybody, just please be prepared. We're going to have to, I know we might not be able to talk to each other during that time frame, but just know one of us, all of us, us that have shows, we will come on as soon as we can once the desk, if we're able to. But I think everybody just please keep that in mind. I think that was sort of the message that I wanted to bringing up the 9/11 stuff. So
Thursday, it was last Thursday, Square and Cash App were down because they're in the same server.
Oh, so really?
Content creators who have websites like me, or there's hairstylists, estheticians, nail techs. They also use Square, bakeries, that kind of thing. Small businesses tend to use Square and Cash App, and most people don't carry cash these days. So it was, we had to wait. So I do feel like there is something coming. Definitely they're testing things out for sure.
Yeah, on a small scale. Yeah. And I saw that Square because I'm like, cool, because I wasn't using it at the time. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's an outage. What? They sent a notice out, to everybody. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, so I want to sort of transition from that and talk about the astrology stuff. Sarah, what is going on? Now, as I understand it, there was actually my friend's pastor. He follows all that stuff, and he was talking about all the planets are going to be aligned at a certain time or something. But I don't know. What say you about this next month or so, about what's going on? Plus the harvest moon is coming up next month, right? So
let's focus on, I want to just focus on the moon, this new moon that's coming up in a couple days. I feel like in October, we'll talk about it, October astrology, because it's going to be some wild and crazy times. Cool. We're all seeing it. Libra season's going to be wild and crazy times. And part of it is because we have that South node in
Mhm.
Libra right now. So all the Libra placements are going to have, some drawing to do. It's about codependency and letting go of codependency on
Mhm.
systems too, especially with Pluto and Capricorn is going to go direct into Aquarius, not move into Aquarius quite yet. It's going to take a few more months, but that forward movement on 1010, and then I
Mhm.
believe on 1012 or 1013, we have that solar eclipse in Libra. It will be
Oh yeah,
very
that's right.
interesting times. Yeah. And Saturn will oppose Venus. So like I think I said on Jason's show a couple weeks ago, there's going to be a split around
Mhm.
that time, some kind of huge split in the collective. But let's talk about this week. Let's talk about this week and what's going on.
Okay.
We can't plan too far ahead, as we know now. Now
I
there's so
know.
many retrogrades, and I know things have been super slowed down for people. It's been annoying. I know for me, it's been annoying. Somebody with Capricorn placements who just wants to go. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's go. And I know a lot of us are like that. We're go-getters. And when things are slowed down, when things are unclear, it can be
Yeah.
rather annoying. But I really do feel like what the divine is trying to tell us, God, source, creator, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, her, they, whatever people want to do on here, it's their business.
Whatever label it
Right.
is.
Yeah, I know. I've quit trying. All of that means is that, this is a time for healing. This is Virgo season. It's about your body. And a lot of I feel like microorganisms that are in our gut, like the bad stuff, needs to be balanced out. And a lot of that is from stress, guys. It's from the programming. It's from a lot of deep ass programming, not just from the mass media. It's from our families. It's from generational trauma. It's from epigenetics. Epigenetics means all the stuff that your ancestors went through and they carry on and it lives on in your DNA. So we're all purging and deprogramming at like a cellular level, not just at a brain level, at a soul cellular level. So this new moon that we're going to have, it's like 1:57 a.m. Eastern time, I believe, on Thursday night. So it's technically Friday, but potato, it doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. I hope no one's up at 1:57 a.m. Eastern, for any good reason. Okay. So with that being said, with this sun and moon coming together at 21 degrees, Virgo, and they're going to both trine Uranus, which is in a retrograde. Uranus is the planet that rules humanitarian efforts and also sudden changes. So Taurus is about our financial system and also our way of creating abundance in our life. So I do feel like there's going to be some good healing for us at that root chakra level. And I also think that there's going to be some revelations about how to create new abundance, new income sources, if you will, for us. Also, Hygeia, which is the asteroid of health and healing, is trining Mars and Libra. So I think this is a lot about, because it's air energy, it's the crown, the crown chakra. I think a lot of us are going to have some good epiphanies. They're going to help us think in a more positive way. So I really feel like a lot of sudden healings for a lot of us that day. And then with that, want to hear something crazy about this 21 degrees. So I did down today. I was like, I got to look into 21 degrees Sabian symbols. So Sabian symbols, like there was this person like 100 years ago or whatever, and they had channeled messages about symbols for each degree of each sign. So the channeled symbol for 21 degrees Virgo is a coat of arms. And the coat of arms looks like our presidential seal. It looks
exactly
like our presidential seal. So pray, hope, and pray, hope and pray.
Everybody needs to pray. Oh my God, that would be amazing. So please, God.
But in a deeper level, I really do feel like this is about us rising up to the occasion and taking charge on an individual level, right? To help the collective and seeing that we can't just give power to whoever's in office. It's about us. Just like we were talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, right? This is about us standing up because there's definitely way more of us than there are of them. So that's what I have for astrology.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. We we need this to end, and we need, like, I listen, I hope that this whole thing with the money situation, my biggest thing is I don't want to have just digital. I'm fine if people want to use digital. I don't have a problem with that. My biggest thing is I don't want to not have our own currency. And that's, where I am with that. But Delphine, what say you about all of this?
Well, I feel, and this is, I just feel that something big's going to happen before the end of September.
Yeah.
I still keep on getting New Year's Day. I keep on hearing New Year's Day by you too. And I don't think it's just because of Paul. I think that seriously, New Year's Day, if you think about it, our real New Year is what is it? So some people say it's the 15th. It's the 15th and the 16th. It's Rosh Hashanah. I think it starts the 15th and it goes to the 17th.
Yeah, the head of the
Am I
head
right?
of the, yeah, the head of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So because we all know that the cabal messed our new year, right? So our new year is
Right.
not January 31st, December 31st to January 1st. This is our new year. So I think that something is going to happen. I don't know what, but I just feel it. I just feel something is brewing. But I will agree it's going to get worse before it gets better, because you have a cabal that knows that their time is up and they have nothing to lose. So they're going to go balls to the wall. So in the next week or so, be prepared. I feel like they're going to throw out as much as they possibly can because they have nothing to lose. I do think it may have something to do with the money. I hope it's more disclosures. I do think that it's already starting, but I do think that they are going to impeach Brandon. I think that's already started.
Yes.
Yeah, they just announced it earlier today.
It's already started. There's no way that they can't not. Now even CNN are like turning against Brandon.
Wow.
So even the Democratic, the lamestream media are starting to talk about Brandon. So I think that we all know it's not really him. But I do think that's going to happen. And I do think something else is going to happen by October, but I think that the fall is going to be crazy. I think that I personally, I don't know what, but I don't think our world's going to look the same by Christmas. I think, well, it's not really Christmas, but I think our whole world's going to be different. It could even be by Thanksgiving, but definitely by Christmas. But I think there's going to be some major changes by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think too many people are waking up. When I took myself off Instagram because I was tired of the bullshit. But when I was still on it, I mean, if you look at like that post with Oprah and The Rock, people are waking up. There was not one good comment. So many people know that Oprah and Rock are they're child traffickers. I mean, people are waking up, folks. So they are waking up. It's slow, but people are starting to see the writing on the wall.
Yeah. And I do think that the way the economy is going, the inflation, the gas is like going crazy now. I mean, they're talking about eventually it being like $10 a gallon or so. I think in Europe it is that. Isn't it like 10 something, 10 or it's expensive over there in Europe. I know that. But I think I watched earlier today, there was this documentary that this guy did. I sent it to, I think I sent it to Delphine. She's like, I'm not listening to another video. So that's okay, I'll watch it. But yeah, you could go crazy. But I mean, basically they talked about the devolution, the fact that Trump is commander in chief versus president with this corporation. I'm over that whole narrative on that. I'm just like, listen, we are a republic. That's what we are. We should have one person, and this is the thing. If in fact martial law is enacted, I mean, I want you guys to be aware that they have the ability to I believe suspend the Constitution. We have to be careful. Like, these are times when they do not want us human beings to have, our inalienable rights. Okay. And we have to be careful. That's why I'm saying, like, they're trying to change our DNA because they don't want us to be human anymore. If you're not human, then you have no rights, and they can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, that's basically what they're aiming for here. So we have to be very careful. And I'm praying and hoping. I talked to my other friend earlier today, and she was saying that if in fact, let's just say if they get Brandon out, okay, they get him out, enact martial law in some areas. I don't think it'll be like all over the United States. It'll be I think in some areas. Then there's a 120-day period of time where they would be in control or whatever until we can either have a new election or that Trump is reinstated. That's what I'm hearing. So I don't know what it's going to be. Who the heck knows? All I know is there's going to be some big event that is going to, bring us to our knees. And I think that it needs to happen because there's a lot of people that are just in their everyday, stress of, financial stress and, emotional stress and everything that just on a day-to-day basis. And some people, I mean, out here in the sticks in the boondocks where I am on the Washington coast, it's like, most people are oblivious, I go into, Walmart, Safeway, whatever. They're just kind of like, whatever. And then there is a portion of that are veterans and, that kind of group of people. And they're like, oh no, we're locked and loaded. We're ready. We're ready. I'm like, well, we need Americans to start standing up in their communities. What are you going to put up with, And I think if we all start uniting together, there's nothing that we can't do. I mean, and I'll remember President Trump said in his inaugural speech, when we are together, we're unstoppable. And it's true. And I think people are learning that we cannot just trust an entity. We can't trust the system anymore, and that's basically where we're at. And I think hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get out of this with not as much damage as like maybe 9/11. I'm praying that it's not as bad as that. But that was just, I mean, the fact that they're willing to do that is just outrageous to me. It's just insane. So, okay. So last thing I want to do is I just want to pull some cards. This is sort of a short show because none of us are 1,000% today. but I want to pull some cards. So, Delphine, do you want to just maybe you pull some cards for the next week coming up, what we can expect, and then Sarah, you can maybe pull some of your cards, maybe Oracle card. I love those.
Sounds
those
good.
are so cool.
That sounds perfect. Let's do that.
And then I'll end it. I'll do one of my my fairy cards, which I love.
Oh, I love that.
The universe
All right.
gives me.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus, I'm asking for divine protection so nothing evil and nefarious will infiltrate this reading or trick me. Heavenly Father, what can we expect in the next week? What is going to happen in the next week? A general reading for everyone who's watching, and then we'll watch in the chat for the next week and globally. I will say 9/11 was probably the first wake up call. I think that there's so many more people that are awake than they were then, definitely 22 years ago. So I think if they try to pull something like get that again, people are going to be like, I don't think so.
Yeah. And I also think, they're talking about that they're gonna try and do another pandemic. I mean, all I'm gonna say to people is not comply to
They're
this.
not buying it. We're not buying it. People are
not buying it. We're not buying it. People are not buying what they're selling. I feel that the cabal's time is like so up. I don't think the cabal's going to last by the fall. All right. I think their time is up and they know it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Austin Powers. Like, remember Dr. Evil? Send in the clones, send in the laser.
Exactly.
We're out of plans here. We're done. We're done.
Right. And the sad part is that real life, they're even more Machiavellian than the bot and then the what do you call it? The Austin Powers. I mean, they're worse than any Machiavellian, any like bad guy. And it's real. They're worse than any bad guy. that we've
It
ever
is.
seen in a movie.
And that's the thing that's so crazy too. Movies and TV shows, they tell you everything they're doing. I mean, and
Yeah.
think about this. I mean, they talked about cloning and all that in the 80s. Well, they've been cloning since like the 40s or something. I mean, like this has
Yeah.
been going on for 100 years or more. And anything that they're trying to do, it's just crazy.
All right, so we're going to be moving in a new direction. This is in the middle, so the Fool card. So we're going to be moving in a new direction this week. I feel like there's going to be a lot of new beginnings. I do think there's going to be more disclosures. I think the little bit of the lamestream media, they're starting to see the writing on the wall, and they understand that people don't believe anything that they're saying. All right.
Mhm.
So moving in a new direction. Also, expect the unexpected.
Okay.
All right. So we got the Wheel of Fortune. So there's going to be a big surprise and something they've been planning for a long time. All right. So something they've been planning for a long time. Now, coming up towards the mid to end of the week, it's going to look better for money.
Yay.
All right. Because we got the 10 of Pentacles. So we all know that this is abundance, happiness. This is also legacy card. So I feel like more families, I feel that families that have been split apart due to let's say maybe disagreements with religion, disagreements with shots, disagreements with politically, I think there's a lot of fissures and things that I feel that people are going to start to come back together. I feel like people that have been estranged in families and friendships, they're going to come back together. But this is a beautiful card. So this is abundance and just anything. Towards the end of the week, I feel things with material matters, money, jobs, whatever is going to be really good. But there are still going to be some burdens. Okay. There's still going to be a lot of stress and burdens, even though I don't think it's going to be the money system. I feel they're going to throw us maybe a few bones, but it's not going to be the financial relief that we need, because people are still going to be very, very stressed and a lot of burdens with material matters and bills and tricksters again. Okay.
Yep.
They're going to try to pull another, they're going to try to pull something else. All right. They're going to try to pull some kind of more shyster. Okay. They're going to try to fool us and trick us. All right. It's going to cause a lot of stress. A lot of people are going to be, crying, losing sleep. But this is the card of the needless crying and sleep. In other words, it's like, it's like, don't believe it. It's going to appear worse than it is. So a lot of people are going to be stressed and losing sleep and crying needlessly. And towards the end of the week, we're going to be happy. 10 is completion. We're going to be content and happy with it. So it's going to be kind of a world. I feel like a roller coaster week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sounds like it. Oh my gosh. That's pretty good though. It's a pretty good reading. I mean, not bad. We just have to stay strong.
I'm liking this. I'm hoping there's more relief. I just think if they just threw us a bone for the money system, people would just be, if they didn't have to worry about money, I feel that things would really, really start to pop and people would start to wake up more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure. Thank you. Okay, Sarah, you're on deck.
All right, let's see what's going on. That definitely coincided with the astrology, Delphine.
See what you get.
All right, so overall energy, I got the full card too.
Wow.
No way. Wow.
So yes,
amazing.
New beginning. Like I said, new chapter. I think a lot of people are going to have a big healing at a cellular level. And that's because we're purging the old and in with the new. And I feel like the new is going to look very unfamiliar, but trust, because this is your assignment. I did that real earlier today about trust the assignment. God gave you this assignment because he believed you can complete the assignment. So trust in your soul's purpose. And even if you don't know where it's all going to go, it's going to be amazing, beneficial, and full of love, light, and joy at the end. So keep going. Because I know a lot of people are kind of depressed right now, which I get it. It's such a great season. It's meh. All of us aren't feeling tip-top shape, but it is what it is, and we'll all get better. All right.
Right.
So challenge
That's
card.
amazing. She got the same card. Amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, seriously.
This is the challenge card.
No, you did not. This is crazy. Oh my God. See,
I'm glad this is live because you can't make up the shit, right?
Oh my God. That is
This is
just
the worrying about
crazy.
bullshit. This is the anxiety card. Just like
Yeah.
Delphine said, you're worrying about bullshit. This is stuff you don't need to worry about. It's like temporary things that are really not gonna. It's not gonna matter in 2 days or 2 months
Right.
or maybe even 2 hours. So stop stressing because like we're going on a new journey here. We're opening up a portal, is what I'm hearing. Ooh, I'm getting
Wow.
tingly. Not
Interesting.
because of my shingles, but I'm getting tingly.
It's a different tingling, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right. What is the advice for everyone who's watching and will watch later? Okay. Ooh, I like this. The Chariot. Things are moving
Nice.
forward with grace and ease. Just remember to have integrity as we move forward. Because if this is our overall energy, this is where we're going. You can't go back. You have to
Right.
move forward. And you can't be in your anxiety and worry about what's to come because the train's leaving in the station, regardless if you like it or not. The train is leaving the station, is what I just heard.
Right.
So this is good stuff. I'm gonna pull an angel card.
Wow. I'm in shock that you guys got the same
Yeah.
card. That
Yeah.
is incredible. Seriously.
All right, let's see what the angels have to say.
Okay.
Oh, the angels have to say a lot, but I'm going to take this one. All right, compassion, Archangel Zedekiel. Okay, so this is all about forgiveness. This is about the violet flame. This is about transmuting. And remember, Delphine was talking about people coming back together. So there might be some apologies this week. And it's up to us if we choose to reconcile on a full level or just forgive and move on and have an energetic boundary. Okay. This is soften your heart with respect to this situation and all people involved, including yourself. So that means give yourself some compassion and grace as well, not just the other person in the situation. So good stuff. It's good
Really
stuff.
good
Very
stuff.
nice. Very
All
nice.
right. I'm going to pull a fairy card. So, Father God, Lord
Nice.
Yeshua, universe, what say you for the next week for the soul tribe? Let's see. Let me see. It tells me when I get this thing saying stop shuffling in my head. It's really weird. But hold on.
It's not weird. It's your intuition. It's your guides.
Yep.
All right. Ooh, I got a looks like trouble. That's not good. Okay,
Uh-oh.
let's see. Let's see.
It's at 7 of Swords, Delphine. Looks like trouble.
Yeah, 7 of Swords. There you go. Okay, it's number 46. Here we go. So this is the card. It's so pretty. I just love these cards. They're so cute.
Oh, he looks like
That
a
is
little
pretty.
anime man.
Yeah, he does. All right. Well, okay, here we go. The key word is deceptiveness. Okay. Says here, this card is telling you to keep your eyes open and your ears alert. Someone is not being as honest with you as they can be. This can be in business affairs or in a relationship. There is a stretching of truth or a covering up of facts. Wow, that's interesting. You are likely to find out too late unless you pay attention. Bring your intuition into play and combine it with fact finding. No one can keep the wool over your eyes for very long. This is also asking you to be scrupulous with your own words and deeds. Remember that what you send out is what you get back. This is the law of the universe. Be honest with yourself. Trouble can almost always be avoided if by paying attention, choosing your words and your actions wisely, and by listening to your higher self. Ask the fairies and the angels to help tap into your highest and best. Remember, you do not need to choose to draw negative situations into your life. Choose to bring joyful and positive situations instead. Sometimes action can be no action. Truth is within me. Honest people surround me. I am guided in all things to the perfect course of action. My world is bountiful, and I work with the tool of attraction. So be it. Stir things up today. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's just basically caution, which we have to be, and we have to be careful of, like, what's being said and, how you react. And I think that's sort of what the message is with that, how you react to things. If things are if something scary happens, you you have to sort of keep your wits about you, and just your actions will affect other people's actions. So just keep that in mind, because it's a ripple effect. And I think a lot of people forget that, words and, everything. It's just all a ripple effect. So we have to like be cognitive of that. And I think that was pretty good. I mean, it kind of rounded it out a little bit. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Shannon says it's true. 46 is Brandon.
That's so funny.
Where did
you touch that? Oh wow, she's great. Yeah, because they're all speaking out against him now, all of them. So yeah, I think maybe what that card was about, Chrissy, is that when they push him out of there, we shouldn't be so quick to celebrate, because maybe they have something else coming down the pipe.
Yeah, they're gonna try to replace him with somebody, but I just, one thing about that, it's like, all right, so if they impeach Brandon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But doesn't that mean that Cackles the clown, she'd be runner up, and she's even worse than him? I'd rather actually have him than Cackles the clown. So I don't know how they're going to do that.
Well, this is the thing that's so interesting. See, I don't think Kamala, as I understand, I don't think she's born in a U.S. citizen. She can't be president, right?
I thought she is a U.S. citizen. They wouldn't let her be vice president.
I thought she was from some other country or something.
Well, that didn't stop Obama. He was born. It didn't stop him.
True. Well, they're talking about Obama like you couldn't believe it. It's like insane. I mean, they're bringing up all of his stuff and like Big Mike. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I will, if this country has to sit through a Gavin Newsom Big Mike ticket, I am just gonna like want to like leave, go underground. I do not know. I don't think the country will be able to withstand that. Seriously. I mean, it's disgusting. And this is the other thing I wanted to say as far as like President Trump goes. I mean, they impeached him, what, 3 times, was it? 3 times, and he still was in. So, but what I'm hoping for is that because of Brandon's crimes are like egregious. I mean, they money laundering, colluding with a foreign entity, that's treason. And I want people to understand that treason is when you collaborate against your country, okay, with another foreign government. That's what that is. And him being so tied in with China and the Ukraine and all of that, I think that the impeachment, they could then maybe remove him militarily and remove basically the whole entire, in my opinion, the whole entire government just needs to start over. They all need to be removed, and we should just have special elections. I mean, that's what I wish for, because I think people are awake enough that they will pay attention to who it is now that they're putting in office. It's a hot mess, but I just hope and pray this thing start. We need this movie to end. I'm so over the movie. I just, if it's a movie, it's either, like I've said before, I said it the last time, it's either the greatest sting operation to remove a corrupt system in world history, or it's the opposite, and it's the greatest deception to bring on the new world. It's one or the other. And I really pray and hope it's the former, because I think there's been enough things that have happened, and enough people are waking up now that they're like, we're not going to put up with this crap anymore. I mean, a lot of people are like getting involved in stuff in the communities and like starting to research stuff. And that's been my biggest thing, honestly, is just that we need people arrested. We need the big people to start getting arrested. Because if James Comey is arrested, people will be like, well, why is he arrested? Oh, and then they'll go back and look.
You know why they're not getting arrested? Because the judges are also corrupt. They all go to the same country club.
Yeah,
that's why.
True. I know.
Yep.
Well,
it's going to be like a mass exit. It's going to be like a mass exodus somehow. I don't know, but
yeah,
I think God's involved.
Yes, always.
I think that it's just going to be God. It can't be a person. The only supernatural entity that's going to put a stop to all this is God.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree 1,000%.
Amen.
Yeah,
and voting is not going to do anything because they rigged it.
Exactly.
I mean, I kind of am hoping for the rods of God to like just get obliterate DC altogether, and let's just but who knows? We don't know what God is going to do, but I do think something major is on the horizon. I think the purpose of this show is to just kind of get people prepared for that. Stay grounded, I think, is a good thing. We got to stay grounded, have your wits about you. You understand a lot of what's going on right now. And we just have to move forward and just do the best we can. That's all we can do, at this point. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
before we end the show, why don't each of you want to like just last words, Delphine, and then I'll go with Sarah.
I think it comes to I think we've all come to a point in our lives when we really have to be our own resources and be our own sovereign beings, meaning that we have to really, and this is the reason why I took myself off Instagram, because there's so many different videos of opposing videos. This one said this one said that one. If you listen to every video, you would be so confused. So I think it's time that we stop looking outward for our truth and look inwards for our truth. I think we need to just stop listening to what people tell us and to use our own gut and our own intuition. Everybody has it. Everyone has their gut. Everyone has their intuition. Everyone has their higher self. And we need to start looking within ourselves for truth and stop depending on other people.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I think that we have to really get in touch with our higher self and get in touch with God. If you do not have a personal relationship with the divine, now's the time, because there is not a human being on this world that's going to save us or be the answer. We have to look towards the divine and our higher selves. And we have to know that no matter what anyone says, we are above this world. We are live in it, but we're not of it. So we are divine beings, and we have more power over the cabal or any government entity. And we need to start acting like the divine beings of God and stop acting like sheeples.
Yeah.
Blindly following whatever I don't care what says I don't care anybody online says. We have to start being our own sovereign beings and thinking for ourselves and not just taking what anyone's food feeds us.
Correct.
That's my 2 cents.
I love it. Sarah, what say you?
I'm going to echo a lot of what Delphine said, but I'm going to put my own little spin on it.
You go, girl.
So because of all these retrogrades, Mercury will go direct on Friday, right after the full moon, right after the new moon in Virgo. It's going to go direct in Virgo, which is Mercury's exaltation, which just means that Mercury likes being in that sign. So Mercury's the messenger, right? He's the way messenger. And we really do need to pay attention to what messages that God keeps on trying to show us over and over and over and again. Because if we're not receiving the message, he's going to make it harder and harder for you. And I don't mean to receive the message. I mean to live in the message. So stop putting these roadblocks in front of yourself. Believe and trust. Trust that God put you here on this earth to live the best life possible, not go through tower moment after tower moment. And just let it be a smooth road. Listen for his messages. Heed the call. Heed the call, because when we don't heed the call, when we doubt ourselves, when we just allow ourselves to be in somebody else's car or somebody else's boat or someone else's wagon or somebody else's hiking trail, whatever it is, because we're not confident that we can complete this by ourselves, then this is when we run into big, big problems. So yes, it's amazing people like to listen to us. I understand it's very comforting. I understand there's a lot of validation and insight, but try to not listen to, like Delphine was saying, too many voices. Okay. Because that will drive you crazy. Okay. Just because your friend sends you something doesn't mean you necessarily have to listen to it, especially if it doesn't resonate with you. Because unfortunately, there's some ill-intentioned people on here. They have gifts. They were gifted with beautiful intuition, beautiful speaking powers, but they decided to use those gifts for some selfish purposes. And we've seen some of these people. We've had relationships with some of these people. And unfortunately, they've decided to go to the dark side. So be very intentional with who and what you're listening to, because at the end of the day, this is your life, this is your mission, this is your soul contract with the divine. And it's not this person's soul contract, that one. You got to just stay focused, lay your head down, stay focused, and don't get caught up in the chaos. That's what I guess.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Yes, and I'll echo what my soul sister said. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that you have to sort of like what I've done with my life. I've just been like, okay, God, you're in control. Because you cannot control anything. I mean, at this point. So I'm trying not to worry about anything. You have to also be cognitive enough and have that relationship with God and Yeshua, so that you know, people say, well, how am I supposed to do that? Well, are you kidding me? I mean, I talk all the time out loud, you know, all the time. Like, what the heck is going on? Or I need some help here, people. Or, you know, I'll say that, or, you know, things like that. And each individual, people don't understand is that we are very much unique individuals. We are a unique soul. We're just one. There's only one of us in the whole creation of everything. There's only one of us. And our relationship with God and with Yeshua and everything, it's very personal and it's intimate, and you can tap into that. I mean, I'm not going to go into all. I have had so many, you know, examples of that throughout my lifetime, and I know that God was preparing me for these times, because I am willing to speak out. I'm going to tell you what it is, what it is. I'm not going to, you know, sugarcoat crap either, you know, because it's just like, dude, get real, you know? I mean, I'm just so sick of people being like, well, no, it is what it is, you know? You just got to like go with it. So I think that ultimately, if you let go, let God. Like Delphine always says, let go, let God. And I really love that, because it's true. You just have to let go. First of all, there's nothing you can do in the past. Past is gone. Stop ruminating and regretting and doing all that crap. And just all we can do is live in the here and now. And when something comes down and you are, you know, you just have to stand strong and stand in your truth and do not give in. I always say, never give up, never give in, and stand. And that's what you have to do. And, you know, just start talking to God. Listen, he's there for everybody. So, you know, and he will, I think, show his hand definitively, so that people understand that there is something greater than what is on this earth. And like Delphine said, you know, this is just a 3D world. I mean, this isn't, our lives go on after this. So what's going on now is physical, but we are all spiritual. We're all social souls, and we're all spiritual beings. And once you're out of it, it's like, oh, well, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just have to get strong, stand strong, stay in your truth, and just move forward. And don't be afraid of anything. No fear. No fear. You know, they're going to try and do another pandemic or whatever. Just call bullshit, man. Just do it. And who cares if anybody gets upset? I don't care if anybody gets upset with me. I've gone in and I've gotten people so mad at me at the grocery stores or wherever, and I'll be like, what the hell are you? Where? Anyway, one time there was a guy at a gas station, big guy, 300 pounds. He's wearing this little diaper on, and I'm like, where's your testosterone? As he passed by me, it's like, what? Well, mind your own business, lady. I'm like, well, you're an idiot. And he's like,
you're outside at a gas station with a face diaper.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
I like, well, I'm breathing the air, buddy. I don't know about you. And I just kept walking, you know. And it's just like, you have to wake people up. Sometimes that's what they need. Maybe he thought about it. I don't know. But, you know, you just got to tell it like it is. And like, do not comply. Do not ever stop being who you are, and keep your connection to God. I mean, that's what this is all about, you know. And I guess that's pretty much all I had to say. I thank you guys for coming on the show, and I know I'm grateful. Thank you for letting me reschedule it and everything like that. I appreciate you, soul sisters. And
Oh, I'm sorry I was sick last week and then my internet went out last night. So
no worries.
It was meant to be.
Happens. Yeah, exactly. No problem. Now I'm just letting you guys know I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna go see a friend of mine I haven't seen for 15 years or something like that.
Wow.
It's been so long.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to go visit with her for about 5 days or so. So I'm going to be gone until next week. So Delphine, you might need to get Carrie on your, we'll have to.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. No worries, honey.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and we'll be here next month. We'll do another show. We're just going to do a monthly show. So
That's
thank
perfect.
you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thanks
We're
for
out
having me
here.
on. Nice spending time with you girls. Bye.
Bye.
Always. Bye. Love you guys. Bye, Soul Tribe.
You too.
In session.